And we are peace, 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 love and light. This is Brother Blue Pill report live and direct. Brett, you got to change that microphone.
Gotta change what now? What did you
No,
say I have to change?
Red, is that coming from your phone? Look, please, Diana. Whew.
Don't tell me she's on again.
Yes, she is. But we are live now. We are back with another powerful episode from Know the Ledge TV / Know the Ledge Media. This is your host, Brother Blue Pill. I'm joined by my co-host, Brother Red, and we have our guests in the building. It is the monumental return of Miss Sophia Stewart, the mother of the Matrix. Okay. Welcome back to Know the Ledge Radio.
Well, I like to think of myself as not a tagline since I'm not in the music world like Diddy and Jay. As Sophia Stewart, the creator and owner of the Matrix and Terminator movie franchises. That is my real title, just like Bill Gates, Microsoft, and the late, Steve Jobs with Apple. No one ever calls them a tagline. So
Right.
why can't I get that honor since I am the creator and owner of this franchise? The whole
Yes.
entire
Yes, let it be clear. Not just the mother of the Matrix, but the mother of the Matrix and the Terminator, the originator, okay, the Oracle.
creator, owner, founder, and owner of it. That's it. I want all the black people and other people to start acknowledging that because a lot of Jews and a lot of whites want to take something away from you and they'll put a tagline. Yeah, a tagline just identifies you. You know what I'm saying? Because it identifies you with the Matrix brand. But I want to be known for what it really is, the truth. And people start acknowledging that, that will make others acknowledge it.
That's right. And, that's what we have convened this session here tonight. We are here to acknowledge and recognize you for the Oracle that you are. Okay?
Okay, that's completely fine.
Yes. All right. Just getting some things situated in the back office. All right.
Is everything good?
Is my mic good?
Brother Ray. Yes, your mic is good. It's excellent.
I'm
It's
sorry, say
amazing.
it again.
I said your mic is amazing.
Okay.
Good. Excellent.
Okay.
I'm very excited to be here tonight. Glad you guys about me. Of all times with coronavirus, what made you guys think about me? I am bombarded with a lot of interviews. Because people want to hear my prophecy. They want to hear about the Matrix because they're in the Matrix. It's been going on for, I wrote the Matrix and Terminator, actually, I would say USA, 1981, my copyrights 83 and 84. I went to school
Can
with
you?
Mark Allen.
Yeah. Can you move closer to your microphone?
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect.
Is that better?
It's excellent. Red, I still hear feedback and reverb in your phone, in your microphone.
I don't know why that feedback.
Not you. This is Red I'm talking to. You good. You just need to be nearer to your microphone and you're great.
Well, is this good enough? Because I have it right beside me.
That's excellent right there, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we good. Let's go.
Well, I'm ready. You guys can start asking me the questions. I
Um,
look forward to
I like where you was just going. You were speaking about when you establish it, the year of the copyright. So I want you to start from there, please.
Oh, I was just saying that I went to USC Film School. I have a degree in journalism, a double major in law and psychology. In the 80s, I was working for a Beverly Hills law firm with 50 attorneys, and I wrote the Matrix and Terminator because they're nothing but derivatives of the book and Terminator book. You know, the third eye, because I'm talking about the eye of God. Because on earth we have two eyes, but there's a all-seeing, all-knowing eye, the eye of God, and that's why the book was called the third eye. Not so much the pineal gland, because the pineal gland is connected to that spiritual eye, you know, that we all have when it's open. And the matrix is a 7,000-year-old Latin word for the woman's womb. The difference between a man and a woman is not the vagina and the penis, but the fact that the woman can have a baby. The matrix is that womb, stargate, that portal to bring babies into this physical domain that is called Earth, or physical dimension, Earth. So the woman is in biblical card to feed the baby. She eats from the dirt of the earth, and she creates a body, transportation. But there's the spiritual body, which is called the astral body, because God's children, the children of the Son, SUNSON, or three-dimensional beings. I don't know if you guys were ever aware of that. It's blood, water, and spirit for the first 11 weeks, almost like a period. This is why at the 12th week, a doctor will not perform an abortion because he will be killing a living soul. Because for 9 months or 36 weeks, the body is being created. That's the second body. First body, astral body, spirit. Second body, physical body, where the mother's eating. Third body is the soul of magnetism that attaches to the body at 12 weeks to animate that body, where the body comes alive. And this is the cycle of the circle of life. And without this woman or this, there will be no births on this earth. There will be no people.
Right.
So man can never become a woman, and a woman can never become a man. She can never have any seeds and never have a penis. That's all fictional. That's all the Matrix.
Right. That's all the Matrix, right?
Right. That is the Matrix. We are here.
This is why, yeah,
Speak the truth.
you know, this is why on this particular day I wanted to honor you and have you on the platform. It is the 50th anniversary, so they say, of Earth Day, but Earth has been here a lot longer than 50 years. Um, I just thought that it would be a wonderful day and a wonderful synchronicity to also bring you on this platform and honor you, as being the mother of this paradigm. When I look around and I do my research about what's going on right now and the agenda that's being ushered in, I was duly prepared for it, by being introduced to the pantheon of your thought by way of, the Matrix, and then later, first the Terminator, and then the Matrix, all of which came out of your mind lab. And you being the oracle, how was you able to see these things so long ago?
Well, I'm a visionary, a prodigy, but a visionary like Tesla and Leonardo da Vinci. A polymath is a person who is so gifted in mathematics. The universal language is math. We create from math, not words or, illusions or, witchcraft, because all that is involving spelling. And you got your butt whipped in school if you didn't do those spells or spelling. Cursive, curse, cursive, the words But everything has nothing to do with that. All life has to do with mathematics. We build a bridge, the architect. We build the car, the engineer. Create through math, Tesla. You know, the towers that you're using right now, AT&T and other, you know, companies and corporations that have cell phones and, you know, cell phone capabilities, and you know what I'm talking. They're sending out energies and vibrations, and this is what we're talking on. Energy, a
Indeed.
living entity, living source. Magnetism,
You
magnetism and
know,
energy are one.
even right now it's 11:11, and there's a lot of power in that inherent number. We look at that as the gateway number. You know what I'm saying? The perfect divide of which people normally center themselves through meditation. So, family, this is a meditation. We're gonna have a wake meditation. We're gonna listen to the sister, we're gonna listen to the mother, and we are going to allow these words to resonate from very, very deep within, because what you're talking about in regards to that vision that you have and being polymathic. I know that these are things that are inside of you. These are inherent talents, gifts, and abilities that come online. They come online at different times for different people. But when did they come online for you?
I was born fully conscious, so I was reading and writing at 3 years old, and knew what words meant and everything. And I started writing prolifically in the seventh grade when I was 11 years old. A teacher, a college professor, came and started teaching us writing because he didn't, he claimed he didn't know anything about English, but he could teach us to write. Because my English teacher got sick, and so she was out, and he substituted. And I already had the gift because I was already writing for my grandmother, when I was little, writing letters for her and reading them back to her because you can't fool her. You see what I'm saying? So I was already gifted. It came from my father's side of the family, but my bloodline is Cherokee. My grandma's full-blooded Cherokee. My grandfather full-blooded Portuguese. But I have the same bloodline on my father's side, also Portuguese and Cherokee. My grandmother came from the Indian reservations of Missouri, and they didn't even know how to really actually communicate with each other because he was speaking Portuguese and she was speaking, her native tongue, Cherokee. But they created a language of their own that they communicated with. And my grandmother was a healer, and I'm a shaman, so Mother Nature, shaman, a healer.
Yes, indeed.
But also Oko,
Yes, indeed. Right, right. So that combination.
What were you saying? What did you say?
I was saying the combination. I said the combination of that divine blood that was flowing through you, representing different bloodlines that are identified as people normally that we would associate with having these gifts and these visions, culminates inside of you, and then you also being part of now the Black experience in this country, melanated experience, whatever they want to call it. It coalesced in you for you to make a very poignant observation that was probably 30 years into the future. So here we are in 2020. You started laying the blueprint for your magnus opus in about, you said, the 1980s, 1981.
Yes, well, I'm at USC. I will reiterate again, my classmates, or at that time, Marcus Allen, the same Marcus Allen that was friends with OJ, but OJ is way older than us. These are former pro football players. used to play with the 49ers and Raiders and other teams.
Okay, wait 1 second.
Uh,
Can you? I need you to get closer to your microphone. You know how we had it when we was testing in the studio, and you had it right in front of you,
Yes.
the microphone.
Yes.
Yeah, where's it at right now?
It's right in front of me.
Right there. That's where I need you to be. Okay, please continue.
No, I was just saying that Ronnie Lott, Marcus Allen, James Sinclair, Dennis Johnson, August Curley, James, those, the Moore brothers, they were my classmates at USC.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the 80s. I was already in the news. I was already in the media because at that time I was engaged to marry Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali was the role model for the Neo character. This is why they wanted Will Smith to play Neo. This is the answer to the puzzle that people have been puzzling for years. Because you do recall with Spike Lee that Will Smith played in the movie Ali, played Muhammad Ali.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah. But they stole my work and didn't understand it or articulate because, you know, it was futuristic work. And so they were trying to explain it to Will, and Will thought they were crazy and a bunch of idiots. And he can make, you know, you can go on YouTube and listen to him. He thought they were completely crazy, nuts. And so he turned down to play Jim West in Wild Wild West with Kevin Kline.
Whew.
But I was already in the
Hold on, I
news
gotta
with my...
Hold on, oh, we dropped bombs. Please continue.
Yeah, already in the news with Muhammad Ali, and you can go into the archives and see us in pictures. We were making news in the 80s together. And he told
So he was your inspiration for the archetype of what ultimately will become Neo. This person that, in your eyes, you saw was capable of saving humanity.
Yeah, he was a black superhero because if you look at Matrix, look at the first Matrix, there are black superheroes in leadership roles. The first time black people have their own science fiction. Because in white science fiction, there's only one or two black people in the beginning of the first 10 minutes of the movie, and they die out really quickly, and they are not in any leadership role. Now, in the Los Angeles Sentinel newspapers, they're talking about me, June of 1981, that Sophia Stewart is going to come out with the first black science fiction with black superheroes in leadership roles. And they're talking about Muhammad Ali is the role model for this. He's a living hero on the earth. A phenomenal living hero.
It's a fact.
They have never addressed this in all of my interviews. I've done over 4,000 media interviews. I've been interviewing nonstop since ABC broke my story October the 17th, 2003. Never need a publicist because I've always been asked for media. And I've been on the cover of 2 magazines, a London magazine, an American magazine. And I've done Rolling Stone. I've done the Wall Street Journal in 2009, BBC, London, Time Magazine, LA Times, Uptown, Don Diva, Source, Vibe, Essence, Black Enterprise, Muhammad Speak, Final Call. I can go on and on and on. My first radio interview was with DJ Kyle, North Carolina, in 2001, just before ABC broke my story in 2003. And they've been hiding all of this stuff. Now, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube because they can't hide everything. But they have archived all of this. They've been listening to me, NASA scientists, Homeland Security, the FBI, DOJ, all of them have been monitoring me and listening to a lot of stuff that I speak about, inventions, what's coming, and they've been implementing just like they did Tesla. This is why they never threatened me, never tried to kill me, because they needed to know what was coming, what was the technology that's coming. In 1980, I'm talking about body scanners, food scanners, computerized warfare with the drones. I'm talking about virtual reality, hologram clones. I'm talking about virtual penal system, which is getting to come into play because they're letting out a lot of inmates because of the COVID-19 virus. I was talking about my company would be the first virtual company, and it's been operating that way. And that when you go into the Matrix 4 book, I'm talking about all of this technology. It's mind-boggling. I've interviewed with the late Dick Gregory, several interviews, the astronaut Clark McCullen on Carrie Cassidy's show, also Phil Valentine, Jewel Pookrum, and even Professor Grift and the late Deborah Blair had asked me to be interviewed with me. But the other ones they did.
Indeed. But what people have always wanted to know, you know what I'm saying, and we kind of started getting into that tonight, is we know that you said the vision came from within. You know what I'm saying? You have this innate vision and ability as a visionary and a seer. But was there anything else that kind of sparked your imagination to see the layout exactly like that in terms of these different technologies and this different interaction taking place between humans versus AI?
Well, it's inside of my DNA. What most people, it's not an imagination. I think a lot of people just throw that in there because they don't know how to term anything or know exactly what's going on with creativity. So you have a lot of people's opinions. But I'm telling you that all of our ancestors, and this is in the Matrix 4 book, and you need to get the book and read it. It is describing that knowledge is passed down through our DNA, that all our ancestors creates that DNA. And that if you are a polymath or a genius, you can access our ancestors and gain all the knowledge. Now, way back 100 years or 200 years, it probably was nothing but lawyers in my family tree. And I have all those years of law in my DNA. And it may have been some scientists and doctors. And I have all of that knowledge that I'm able to access because I'm ambidextrous, meaning that I have the same strength in both hands, meaning that I can access both lobes of the brain. So instead of being a left brain or a right brain, using either the right brain or the left brain, I'm able, like Lucy, to use the full brain to access different parts of the brain to create and do a phenomenal thing, do many phenomenal things. To access that knowledge and apply.
That's amazing. Do you have any advice, for people who might be listening that feel that they have that inclination to dig deep and unlock their DNA? Is there any unlocking advice that you might have for somebody?
Well, if they would learn some fundamental untruths, because a lot of people have been lying to the masses. But if the masses were told the truth, it's like this. If I lie to you about who you are, I keep you in bondage. I keep you slave. You're a slave, enslaved. But the moment you find out who you are and find out the knowledge of you, the knowledge of you become free and phenomenal. So everyone can access the information in their DNA and become greater. Because God says in the Bible, my people, they perish because of a lack of knowledge. And he also said that wisdom was more valuable than diamonds and pearls. Because with knowledge, you can do the most phenomenal things that money can't even touch. Money or gold cannot touch. Knowledge. Look, I beat 4 law firms and maybe several law firms in my California, not the California case, but the Utah case. I won the Utah case September the 25th, 2014. But they've been hiding that from the people, and they're still going on the old California RICO case that my own attorney sabotaged to keep those defendants from going to jail because it was a criminal act that was committed and that they're still liable for those crimes. It's just like if you ever perjured yourself in a federal court, do you know that perjury, under the penalty of perjury, never goes away? That 10, 15 years later, they can actually put you in jail for the perjury. This is how the government.
You said the perjury doesn't go away?
That's right, it never goes away. They can come back 20 years later and arrest you. It's called under the penalty of perjury. Look at what I'm saying. It's called under the penalty of perjury. And this is where the government uses it in all of their documents. When someone's going to get something from them, they don't care, because if they find out that you're lying, they can come back later because you're a witness against yourself under the penalty of perjury. They don't need a witness. You have testified against yourself. Either you're telling the truth or you're lying. If you're lying, that perjury will not go away.
Right.
This is why Warner Brothers and the Wachowski brothers never filed a lawsuit against me, ever. Because the burden of proof is on there. And the burden of proof means that if you ever file a lawsuit on anyone, you have to come in there and bring the facts under the penalty of perjury. And if you're lying, you have not mess with a federal court or any courts and commit a perjury. That's why a lot of people try to run away. They don't want to be subpoenaed. If they know if they get subpoenaed, they're going to have to get that witness in, and under the penalty of perjury, it's over for them. They won't show up. Just like in my court cases, they never showed up in none of the court cases ever. You guys didn't even know that. Now I showed up. They lied. I showed up into the witness stand under the penalty of perjury. And I entered in all the copyrights to the derivative movies, the characters, the video game, everything. I own everything by copyrights. That's mind-boggling, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely mind-boggling. Red.
Well, you see, they've never called me a liar. I've never been called a liar or anything in any media. They own all the media, so come on. You have never, because I can come back and get them with truth. It's called slander and defamation. Now, they call those trolls on the internet and disrespect me. But you know what? That don't bother me at all. You know what I'm saying? I cannot hear you.
I do. Yes, I said I absolutely do, and I do take note of the fact that they have never said that you were lying in public, and they're so quick to talk about slander and lawsuits, and we're gonna shut you down and do this to that and to you, but they never had that language or that energy with you. You know what I'm saying? They've only ran and they hid, and they actually, dressed up and put on wigs and makeup and disappeared behind the scene and reappeared as something else. So yeah, these are things that people need to take in note, you know. But it
That's what
amazes me,
wizards. You hear
yes.
what I said? That's what wizards do. Do you remember the Wizard of Oz? The story about the Wizard of Oz? And do you remember the little dog Toto, which was nature, pulled back the curtain and revealed fraud? And what was fraud? The wizard, the warlock, was a man pulling the levers and scaring the people. And look, Dorothy was doing. Dorothy wanted to come home. She was going to the wizard, the warlock, the witches, because she wants to get home. And home inside of you. Home is where you lay your head. And look at the lion, a big lion. He was a coward, and he wanted courage. Well, you'll never get courage until you get into a fight. You're either a coward or you have courage, and you won't know either one until you get into a fight, what you really are. And the Tin Man, he wanted a heart. He wanted somebody to love. Well, you can't get any love unless you love somebody. And if you love somebody and that love is never returned, it'll come back from somewhere else. It's like a boomerang. Whatever you give comes back to you. So if you want love, you have to give it in order to receive it. And the Scarecrow, he wanted a brain. Remember, he wanted a brain. But never realizing he had a brain all along. If you never use that brain, you'll never know what you got. Like you were telling me, do I need to give people something to trigger them? Well, they got brains. The fact is nothing is going on with them because they're not using it, not respecting it, and not understanding and being grateful and thankful that they have one. They think that everything has to do with money. They think money is everything. And so they sell their souls for money, and money is nothing but an object. Just like a gun, an object. You can pick the gun up and use it to go hunting, or you can pick the gun up and do an evil act and hurt somebody or kill somebody. But it's nothing but an object, and that's all money is. Money operates on the law, an invisible law of circulation. If you circulate anything with this invisible law, you'll be rich. And it doesn't have to be paper, which is money. It could be gold, it could be spices, it could be animal furs, it could be bartering. The more you give, the more you receive. The more money you give, the more money comes back to you. And every man that steals, he steals from himself. And every man that giveth, he gives to himself. And the more he gives, the more he receives, because the law of circulation flows in a currency like a river, like a sea, like an ocean. It's all a current coming right back to you like the boomerang. That's why money is called a currency. And it operates on the principle of what you do with it. That's why God.
Yes, my bad. Please continue.
I know you had to drop a bomb. That's why God said, "If you give, then to receive." Because every man that giveth gives to himself, and every man that taketh takes from himself. And that you could be so rich, because this is why the corporation you see on Owen's show or Oprah's show, or there are other ones who are copying. But it all started with Rosie O'Donnell, when she had her show. The sponsors will give out millions and millions of dollars, or thousands and thousands, or hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, because they know that more they gave, more they were going to receive. We're practicing these laws, but they don't want to teach you these laws. See, there are two laws operating here. The laws of man, which is garbage, and the laws of God, which are invisible. And if you want to be very successful, you need to learn the laws of God, the invisible laws of God, because those laws, you can depend on them today, now, forever, tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? They will never go away, and they will never let you down. Those laws, if you throw something up, it's going to come down. It's called gravity. Now, man got some laws that are changeable. Just like he changes his mind, just like he changes his wife or his girlfriend or his car or his house or his clothes. Everything with man is a change. And God says change is good, because God says everything must change. Nothing remains the same. And if you go into the Bible, into Ecclesiastes, he said there was a time for everything. A time to be happy, a time to be sad, a time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to be poor and a time to be rich. And what they're finding out is they're not going to be rich forever. You have to go and experience frustration. You got a heartache, love. You see what I'm talking about? Doubt, jealousy. You have to cultivate and learn all of these realms of emotions and things to cultivate you so you can grow in evolution. So you can be the master. And understand what all of this is about. You grow consciously. You grow spiritually. You grow physically. If you don't learn the laws of God, you only learn the laws of man, then you're operating on an animal level, which is a lower vibration of consciousness. All you're doing is reacting, instead of what you came here to do is to create. If you're tearing down and destroying, then you're going against the laws of God. If you're killing and hurting and cursing and doing all kind of foul things, if you're selling sex trafficking, pedophilism, you know what I'm talking about, terrorism, all kind of wicked things, then you're going against the laws of God. Because we were here to build.
Those are some powerful words, huh?
To help and heal, to create, to build, to succeed, to become greater than anything we ever was before. The key is truth and love. To love one another as you love yourself, to treat all others as yourself, to help, to build, to create. And everybody that goes against these principles or lowering themselves on instinct like animals. An animal operates off of instincts to survive. And he thinks everything is a threat to his survival. That's because he's not developed consciously. He's living on lower vibrations and lower consciousness. So everything that you see going in the opposite of God is operating on an animal level. And we're not animals. The animals are operating in a law, just like the angels. They're locked in that law, just like the sun is locked in the law. They cannot break the cycle of You see, they cannot break that. It come up every day, no matter what. It can't say,
Hold on.
I'm not gonna shine today. We're covering it up. Even in winter time, the sun is shining. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And these are some very deep, immutable laws that you are dropping here. You know, these are some keys. This should be called the Book of Sophia. It's pure wisdom.
No,
You know,
Sophia is in the Bible, and she is wisdom. She is philosophy. She is
I
pi.
know.
Pi, the ratio of all numbers, 314. She is in the Bible, Sophia. That's where I got my name from, wisdom, Greek, Sophia, from the Bible. Remember, they said the Word was the Christ, and his bride was wisdom. Now, the Word was authority. So when the Word is spoken, then everything obeyed that authority. But wisdom was his bride because wisdom was understanding and knowledge. If you don't have knowledge and understanding, you can't wield power and authority. Because the fool and his money will soon part.
Yes,
The book of living, the book
you
of
are absolutely right. Um, when we talk about different characters in the Matrix, you know, or the Matrix series for that matter, which ones in particular are attributed to your writings and which ones did they create, you know, trying to keep up with the series?
they did not create anything. It's just like a kidnapper. Let me just explain something to you. If I'm in the hospital and I had several babies, say I had triplets, and a thief comes in there and steals my baby, what will it do? He'll try to change the baby's name. He'll try to change the baby's clothes. He'll try to change everything, but he can't get a birth certificate. I'm the mother. I'm the only one that can give the baby a birth certificate. So when you steal something, you didn't create anything. If you stole a car right now, wouldn't it be stupid for the cops to say to you, hey, Blue Pill, so what did you create on this car? Huh? Oh, what were you telling? Oh, I changed the color. I painted it black. It was blue. Oh, I took off the mags and put some other because I'm trying to disguise it. So you call that creating? Because if that's
No, not
creating,
at all.
I mean that blows my mind. Because the
Yeah,
thief
it's not.
doesn't create. Because if a thief was a
No,
creator, he would create his own thing. Yeah, sometimes people use the wrong choices of words. Now, these people stole my money, just like if I had a DeLorean in my yard and you stole the DeLorean and you took it and you made $1 million off of the DeLorean. Well, the DeLorean car title belongs to Sophia Stewart. And the money you made is called the profits. That $1 million belongs to me. And I'm going to court not to fight for any rights because I already own the DeLorean. I'm going to court like all people go to court for money to get my profit because you stole my money. You understand? The property, I've already claimed it. We're not fighting over the profit. Money, I mean, the car itself or the property, we're fighting over the money in courts. And they're using my money that they stole from me and hiring lawyers to keep me from getting the rest of my money. You need to know this. Everyone needs to know that. They need
yes,
to stop
indeed.
listening to stuff, troll stuff on the internet and start asking questions because the thieves got all this confusion, and confusion doesn't come from God. God is not confused. Whenever there's some confusion going on, confusion comes from man. And man have lied to you guys. God has explained who the devil is in the Bible. The word devil is an Ebonic word for the evil. Look at the word, D-E-V-I-L, evil, the evil. Or D is in David, the evil. And what is the evil? Man is the evil that enslaves his own kind by murdering them, by doing all kind of wicked things. There is no horns, no cloven hoofs, but man. Man is the evil that enslaves and put his own kind in bondage for the love of money. And what does he do? He comes to lie, kill, and steal. What does he do? He's lying, he's killing, and he's stealing. And that's what he does every day. He done told so many lies that he don't even know what the truth is. He done killed so many people that he doesn't even know that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You get what you give. That he's going the same way. And guess what? Retribution is going to catch up with you. It's not going to go away. That's very deep, isn't it?
It is very
No
deep.
one gets.
Even when I look at Hollywood today, from a metaphysical lens, it would seem like it's burning. You know what I'm saying? The minute that Weinstein went down, Hollywood collapsed. They're not making any money. They're going to be in a deficit this year. They moved all of their releases. Everything is coming out in November, so they say. It appears to me that it fell apart. The day that Weinstein was convicted, a 500-foot statue of a replica of Michelangelo's David fell to pieces in a funeral out there in Glendale, California. It just collapsed and it fell to pieces. And to me, that was the analogy of the house of David. This false synagogue that these people belong to. It kind of like once Weinstein fell, he took everything with him. So I see, Hollywood is already falling to pieces, and you know what I'm saying, they've already done themselves in by all of the thievery. There seems to be a level of justice that has come to this planet, and it seems to be exacting itself under or over a lot of institutions. I don't think Hollywood is going to escape that judgment.
They're not going to escape. This plague that you see is catching up with a lot of them. Pharaoh's children a lot of them going to be destroyed by plague. These plagues are nothing new. They go all the way back in the Bible, and they've been going on for a long time. People can Google the Black Plagues of London, the plague, and they take out the old because a new world is coming. Change is coming. And the old cannot go into the new. You can't put old wine into new wineskins. It'll burst the bag. And when these people were doing all the evil, when Moses went to get the law, they were fornicating, they were bestiality, having sex with animals. Everything that they're doing right now, they were doing then. Moses was gone a long time, because in the Bible and in the movies, everything is short. But in reality and truth, it was a long time that they were doing what they're doing right now. They've been doing all this stuff, evil, for a long time. So when Moses came back, God told him that they couldn't go into the new land, the new promised land. That, you know what I'm saying? That he'd have to, take them around in a circle for 40 years until they died out, and only kids could go in there and receive the new world. So now a new world is getting ready to come upon us. We're getting ready to be reset. And these plagues is like a cleansing, because everybody that is not meant to come into the new world is not going to live. The plague is going to clean out a lot of things because these people thought that their money and their power's influence, and they had billions and billions of dollars, and they had tons of influence. They had judges and lawyers and clerks and politicians and senators and presidents and kings and queens all in their pockets. And they thought it was so powerful, they knew that once you lie in the media, God's retribution was going to come down on your head. They used to be terrified of doing that. But after a while, they got so comfortable with billions of dollars and buying out all kind of biopharmaceuticals and banks. Banks like Chase Manhattan was the drug dealers. $265 million to pay. They brought in all the cocaine and didn't go to jail. It was just got so wicked upon the earth. Why do you think the plagues came? The locusts came in Vegas. Before every great plague come the locusts. All these signs came and they ignored the signs. They thought they were so powerful with their monies and their influence that nothing upon the earth could stop them. That there would be no retribution and that they would not pay. They killed some of the greatest gifts, Michael Jackson, Whitney, just Prince, Biggie, Tupac. Many, many people, many, many gifts on the earth. And nothing was ever going to stop them. They forgot that they had no power over death, and that death was an equal opportunity employer. That he didn't care what color your skin was. He didn't care what age you was or who you thought you were here on earth. Once the death angels are released, that's what they do. So I don't know how they said on TV that black people were at a higher risk at the COVID-19 disease when death does not discriminate. These people were incredible. But guess what? All the money, all the power, and all the influence is not going to save them from the power of death. Life and death is in the powers in the hands of God. He put the number on you when you get here, and he's put the number on you when you leave here. And it doesn't matter how much money someone has, how much power they got. If it's not your time, you're not going anywhere.
Indeed.
People need to wake up to the truth. And they need to start dwelling and speaking the truth and not be afraid to speak the truth. Because I'm telling you, the power of life and death is in the hands of God and not man. And you know this because how long have I been speaking the truth?
All you've been speaking is
They
truth.
record. That's right. How long have I been speaking the truth? I'm on many speaking the truth. Because there's nothing they can do about the truth. They record me. They got all kind of trolls around me. You know what I told them? Record me. Because guess what? I guarantee you won't be playing recording because you want to hear the truth. Just like Jack Nicholson said in his character in A Few Good Men, you can't handle the truth. It's the truth. They can't handle it.
That's a fact.
They'll run from it.
That's a fact.
It'll paralyze you. You want to run from it.
When you speak of truth, and you do speak of truth, and you personify truth, and you've been speaking truth from day one, I want to bring another one of my brothers in the building who's also a truth speaker. And, just like we're known as the pills, this brother's known as the key. you know, 19 keys, a fellow shifter of ours, he would probably be the key maker in the matrix. So I'm gonna open up.
Yes, I will.
Yeah,
I will
you
see
gotta
him.
mute that audio, brother.
Yeah, I want to say
Yes, let me make this
about
introduction.
because there's one thing that really, really is very upsetting. People say you speak your truth. Well, no one can own the truth. There's only one universal truth, and no one can own it. Now, you can own a lot of lies. You can tell many lies and own many lies, but there's only one truth. It's either yes or no. Even maybe is no. There's no straddling the fence. So when people use that program, I say that's a program. Some people speak programs to me. I said, those are programs. There are no labels. Those labels are programs. Your skin doesn't determine who you are. Your skin is a cover. You're not no African because African is a man's name. That's just like you calling yourself Toby when your name is Kunti Kinte. That's why Muhammad Ali did not want to be called Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay was a slave owner, and all his slaves that he owned took on his name. Free men don't take on plantation names, and they're not labels. We are living. We are living. We're not a label, and we're not dead. We are living entities created through vibration, created through energy. And no car, no Rolls Royce, no Mercedes, no Maserati is greater than us. No house, no building, no paper, no gold, no jewels on the earth, no diamonds, or greater than us. Because we are living vibrations of energy that creates and do some of the most phenomenal things once you realize who you are. A car and jewelry and diamonds and materialistic stuff does not define who you are. Your gifts of singing and acting and creating and building, whether it's a car, whether it's a house, whether it's a chair, whether it's a spoon, or even if you went in the kitchen and you created some chocolate or some cookies. Your living gifts define you. They are not greater than you. You are the master. They are the material. And that's the world they belong to. The material won't matter. But you are what really matters. You. Living energy, coming to create, coming to build, coming to succeed. And if you go in the opposite direction and you're turned down and you're destroying, you got to leave here. You got to go. Retribution is waiting on you. You're going. You don't belong here. If you're not here to do what you came to do, and that's to create and to make things better for others, it's about others. It's not about self or selfishness. It's about uplifting, healing, and helping others. And if you're not doing that and you're just taking, you got to go. And if you're just giving and you're not receiving nothing else, you got to go. Everything there's an imbalance, have to leave here. Anything that is a blight or a cancer or misfunctioning has to leave here. Everything is a collective whole. We work as one. We are one. So if you see your enemy and you're looking in his face and you don't like it, it's because you're looking at some of the things you don't like in yourself. And if you see something in someone that you admire, then those are the traits that are in you. So if you don't like something about somebody, go to the mirror, look at the man in the mirror, and make a change. Change yourself. And once you make that change, everyone else is going to look at you and emulate you, because that's how change comes about and how you change the world. You change the world when you change the perception of you. So if you see something you don't like about somebody else, then go change it about yourself. And I guarantee you that person will come back and run into you, and they'll see who you are, and they will change. And they will even tell you that they were watching you far off, and you're the reason they made some changes in their lives. And you didn't even know it, because you changed yourself. That's how you make changes. I told people they all mimic and copy off each other. If they see somebody being a successful writer, they want to be a successful writer. They see somebody being a successful producer, they want to be a successful producer. They mimic and copy. And I told them that is not how you become rich and famous. You become rich and famous by servicing the world. The disciples went up on Jesus and they said, Master, Master, who's the greatest? And Jesus said, the one who serves everyone is the greatest. Because the one who speaks in tongues can gratify only those few. But the one that uplifts many changes the world. And he's the greatest. Because he's not thinking about himself. He's thinking about everyone else but himself.
In so many words, if people come to that, or, particular persons come to that self-realization, they have a Neo inside of them.
That's why in the Matrix 4 book, the fourth installment, Matrix Evolution, that is what I'm saying. That we're all Neos. Neo is an anagram, a sneaky way of calling him the One. Neone. So John goes up to be Neo in the Matrix. And Terminator End Time Revelations, because Revelation is the end. Terminate means the end. This work is metaphysics, it's spiritual. There's no way that Andy and Larry Wachowski, they don't even understand the dynamics or the spirituality of the work. And it's futuristic and visionary work. Talking about iPads before Steve Jobs or Bill Gates ever created any computers of that level of an iPhone or an iPad. Talking about body scanners, food scanners. You go to my Third Eye Matrix and Terminator book, it's there. I'm talking about LEDs. I'm talking about virtual penal systems. I'm talking about virtual reality. Talking about UFOs and aliens, which the Bible speaks about with Ezekiel, chariots of the gods. Past, present, and future time travel. When you go to the Old Testament, that's the past. When you go to the New Testament, it's our presence right here, right now. When you go to Revelations, it's the future. One will become. Past, present, and future time travel. Time is an illusion. The boy is not bending a spoon. He's bending energy. It's deep. It's the matrix. It's the womb.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, that message, you know what I'm saying? It resonates and it cuts through with so many people, you know, especially today, as they can see themselves almost within this movie being played out in real life. In your world, in your vision, you know, how does this story ultimately end?
There is no end, it's just the beginning. You do remember that, don't you? There is no end. It's just the beginning.
Yes, I do.
Change is always on. The only thing that's going on here, the earth is never destroyed. The only thing is going on is people coming in and leaving. Birth, death, and rebirth. A complete cycle. A never-ending cycle that will never end. It will go on and on and on and on forever. So the only thing that's going to happen is new people being born for the new changes in the new world and other people leaving here. Nothing else. New world. You know what the new world is?
Right. Are you moving away from your mic?
Yeah, I am, but I have to because
You got to charge it.
my is Zion, and I cannot let that happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Pill, you still with us?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, do you want to get some
Yeah,
comments?
if you have, yes, please.
Yeah, I do. I just thought I was having audio issues.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. First and foremost, I just want to add that that dissertation that you gave was so enlightening and so, you know, just so on time. That the timing in your message is just, you know, it's synchron. It's the ancestors. What I want to know, to dig a little bit deeper into prophecy and into revelations and to what we see going on in society today, I just want to look through it through a biblical lens. I was sharing with the audience throughout the weeks, throughout the months, as we were watching the COVID-19 and the coronavirus crisis unfold, or the pandemic for that matter. And I was saying that I'm beginning to see a narrative, a slave narrative, beginning to speak to me through, you know, the countries, or just through the story, just through the storyline of the coronavirus, the fact that it broke out in China. Well, first of all, the fact that this is the Jubilee year, and last year was the year return, 1619 to 2019, which basically bookend the 400-year spell, right? Which is the prophecy, right? Which is it was basically the ending of, or the book ending, or the ending of a quote unquote era. And then we come into this Jubilee year. And in this Jubilee year, we see this plague, like you said, this pandemic that, you know, if we want to be conspirators, we would have to explain why every 100 years the planet basically begins to open up its portals and souls leave and then souls get here, because like you said, People don't talk about the souls that came here during pandemics versus the souls that left, and the fact that now there is the largest hole over the ozone layer, right, that has opened up, right, and the fact that even in the Ori, I don't want to pronounce that wrong.
The Aurora.
Exactly. They were having some very odd activities taking place going into about, late January. Then, there's the interstellar object that was flying in this atmosphere. There's a lot of things going on. So when I saw,
Yes,
I don't mean to cut your wisdom. So
um,
I just want
no,
to leave this last point that when I
keep
saw,
going. I didn't mean to.
okay. Okay. When I saw it start in China, and I identified that as the Mongols, and they played there. They had a huge part in collapsing a lot of empires and whatnot, which ultimately led to the enslavement and the capturing and the vassal states that our people were forced under. And then it jumped into Persia, right? And Persia has a hand to play. And then it jumped into Turkey, and Turkey has a hand to play. And then it jumped into Rome, which was Italy, and we know Italy has a hand to play. Then it jumped into the UK, and the British Empire and the UK has a hand to play. Then it jumped into the royal family by way of Prince Charles, and we know that the crown and the church, they had a hand to play. Then it jumped into Spain, it jumped into France, and it jumped somewhere else right before it came to America. And then when it came to America, it jumped right into Louisiana, which was a slave port state. It jumped into Cook County and into a modern day slave setting, because that's what the prisons are. Then it jumped into New York, which is Wall Street, where they basically built the economic system off of slavery, and then the economics collapsed. The economic system collapsed. And then there's all kind of other disruptors that are going on. And then Israel basically began to get it, and 44 rabbis in Brooklyn died of the COVID-19 complications. And then Rhode Island, which features very prominently into slave narratives because of Newport, Rhode Island, and the boats and whatnot. So I'm just picking up a lot of things.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get you to see,
Yeah.
a lot of things going.
When she talks, put your phone on mute.
Excuse me. There's a lot of things going on. There's the 5G that's killing people. There's the genetically modified virus killing people. There are the regular dies, that people are dying of, whatever it is, underlining health issues that they have. Those regular deaths are going on and mixed in there. And there's all kinds of stuff that's going on right now. It's a cleansing that's going on, a cleansing of the world. That's the bottom line. If it's not meant for you to go, it's just not meant for you to go. If it's meant for you to go, it doesn't matter how many masks or what you do, you're leaving. If it's not meant for you to come into the new world, because the whole world is being reset, and those who are at the top have to go to the bottom, and those who are at the bottom is going to go to the top. It's called trading places. And financials, needs are going to be trading places here to go into the new world. Because the money is not to save these rich people or famous people or whatever they are, that they think they have an edge. I told you death is an equal opportunity employer. He doesn't care about you being rich. He doesn't care about you being famous. He doesn't care about you being poor or what color your skin is or if you're young or old or whatever. He does not care. If it is your time to go, you're going. And if you stole money, you stole a lot of stuff to get to where you are now, Well, that money has to return. There are no slaves. That's what the whole thing was about with Moses and the Hebrew children, that they had enslaved and used them for free labor. No, they had to pay. Everybody got paid except for the children of God. When Pearl Harbor with the Japanese, and they got the bombs twice, they got paid. When Vietnamese, when they devastated them, they got paid. Everybody got paid except for the children of God. Now with this plague, God's children are getting ready to pay. It's called trading places. Like with Eddie Murphy's movie, it's trading places. What was at the top goes to the bottom, what's at the bottom goes to the top. What was last will be first, and what was first will be last. This is meant to come into the new world, because there's always new worlds being created. And this new world that's coming, I've described it in the Matrix 4 Evolution book. That movie is coming too, not garbage that got shut down before the virus was announced. Warner Brothers was going to come out with some ice cream garbage where a woman was the lead, and Agent Smith wasn't going to be there anymore because they can't use that, but it's going to be Agent White. And Keanu Reeves' character was going to be like John, an owner of a video game, but he doesn't know who he is, but he's married to a machine, a program that resembles Trinity. That is not the Matrix. That's garbage. And I prophesied that it was going to get shut down, and it was going to be in the news. And sure enough, shut down, got the announcement. Everything they filmed needed to be refilmed. The company that they got the money from, a German studio, bankrupt. They couldn't get $27 million to get paid. Why? Because they were going to jack you guys. They were going to give y'all an Apple Jack in an Apple box and charge you Apple prices. And when you open up the box, because you know what Apple is, you knew you got jacked. That's what they were going to do to you with the Matrix. Jack you. Like they did with Terminator Fate. It bummed in every market overseas. I'll fail you. They couldn't even make any money off of it. They couldn't believe it. They lost $500 million. And when they tried to get $5 million, they always take it through bankruptcy court like they always do. And the judge said yes. And then the COVID-19 virus came and shut them down where they couldn't even get to $5 million. Because I told them before COVID was even announced that they wasn't going to get that $5 million. They disrespected God with homosexuality in the Matrix Terminator. And I told God created the message to free people from bondage, not to put them in bondage. He doesn't care who you love. It's nasty practice. All this virus is about people being nasty. That's what's going on here. Nastiness. Diseases. You see what I'm saying? You cannot take 3 to 4 billion people and take them to hell and take them another direction. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry that some people have to hear the truth. It's not about taking any love from you. It's not about that at all. You love whoever you want. You have free will. You have free choices. God's message of the Matrix and Terminator was to free you out of the Matrix, to take you out of bondage, to show you who you are, that you're not slaves, no matter what color your skin, race, creed, nationality. It's all about evil and good. It's about Allah and the truth. And your people, if you deal in truth, your people are truthful people. If you deal in lies, then, hey, you need to get the liars because that's who your people are. Your people are not skin color. I'm sorry. It's not a label. It is about an act or action, or evil or good, truth or a lie, creating or destroying. That's who your people are. So you need to get with people who are creating, because that's who you are, or people who are telling the truth, because that's who you are. But if you are the opposite, those are your people. Do not let people separate you from the truth. Don't let people confuse you. There's no confusion between right and wrong and good and bad. You know who you are. You always have to choose a side because you got free will.
Right.
You can go forward and backwards. There's no other place you can go.
Keys, you want to get some input?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Speak.
First of all, I want to say thank you. Your spirit has been amazing to observe and just listen. As I just received here, I didn't even want to say anything.
Fading out.
I said, as I sit here, I didn't even want to have to say anything. I just enjoy your stream of consciousness and where you're coming from. You know, the matrix, the paradigm, the world that it created is very powerful. Today, you know, people are afraid of many things, and you broke down fear. You understand me? And how people can go internally inside themselves. Can you hear me?
It's like I barely hear you. It went out, but I and you're saying.
Well, essentially, my question is this: what's next? From a mind such as yours, I think the world would like to know what's next, and whatever comes to mind when you hear that question is what I would like to hear from you.
What's next is the new world. The new world that's created by the machines, and living in that new world and changing the paradigm of that new world. That's what's coming next. You're going to be here. You need to prepare yourself to create for the new world that's coming. The new world, let me tell you, people are scared of change, but change is good. Everything must change. Nothing remains the same. Nothing can be redundant. Life ends if you don't change. Even if you don't want to change, that's the end of life, not changing. But change is good because it's a new adventure. It's a new world. It's just like before the iPhones came, before we even had wireless phones, we used to have phones with wires. But look, the wireless phones have freed up. It's great. We're using that technology to do all kinds of things. Look, we can see each other right now, but 50 years ago, we couldn't. 100 years ago, it wasn't the technology that it is now. We can use the technology for good. Technology doesn't have to be evil, just like I told you. The gun is not evil. Who picks up the gun with intent? You can have good intentions or you can have evil intentions. You can use the gun for good or you can use the gun for evil. We can use the technology for good, or we can use the technology like they're doing right now to destroy. But all they're doing is destroying their own world and their own self. All they're doing right now is destroying their old world where they can't even come back to it ever again. And guess what? You're young. So the new world was created for you. And you can do anything you want. And you can create anything you want to create. You can build. Who cares about the old world? It wasn't working. And all the people that used to control the old world, they're going to be gone. Trust and believe. They're leaving here. They don't even know. The retribution that they put out is going to catch up with them. But you're going to be here because you're young. That's why the virus is not bothering the children or the millennials or the young. The old has to go, but the new is always going to take the place of the old. And all the new has to do is create greater things for the whole, for the masses. So look upon this as a great adventure. Don't look at this as bad. The earth always cleanses itself, and it always gets rid of the old. You're just used to it during winter time, because spring, the new bodies come in. You know what I'm talking about? Summer, you're having a blast. In the fall, the leaves start to die on the trees. And then when winter comes, death. Because everything that's not come in the new world, in the new year, has to leave here. And it's called cleansing or cleaning the earth. Cleaning of the old to make room for the new. So look at life as an adventure. Look at life as being phenomenal and great. Don't be afraid to live. Don't even concentrate on death. Concentrate on living and what you want to see. Concentrate on the changes that you want to make. What do you want to build? What do you want to see for tomorrow? Look at all the old that's dying and going away, and think of something to replace it that's greater. There's going to be a greater comfort, a greater need, a greater conclusion. It's going to help the multitude to adjust to the new world. Get the opportunities that are presenting themselves. There are new jobs, new opportunities, new inventions, new everything. Welcome the new. Say goodbye to the old. No one controls who stays here or leaves here. Don't worry about any of that.
When you spoke about Muhammad Ali inspiring the central character of the movie, essentially, you know, that for this world will represent the Black Messiah that the FBI always tried to stop, the agents always tried to stop. Today, I wonder, is there a new Black Messiah in your eyes, or is that a group of people, or is it just the people awakening?
It's about good energy upon the earth. When you use labels, you put things on a material level. But if you would not use labels and you think of consciousness as energy, you elevate. There's nothing but good and bad chi, which is energy. And good energy is here right now, and it'll always be here. And what you want to do is find that good energy and bond with it. Nothing ever leaves here except for the old and what is not meant to be in the new. So you have everything you need right now. Don't go backwards. Don't look backwards. Don't turn into a pillar of salt. Move forward. You have everything you need. You're young. You're thinking about old stuff and about old ways and old things. Don't even look back at the past. It's gone. All you have right now is right here and right now. That's where your mind and your thoughts and your heart and your creativity should be right now, right here. Look towards the future, because Like I said, no one knows what the future is going to bring. It ain't promised. But it doesn't matter. You can't look backwards. It's just gone. You don't want to look forward because you don't need to. All you need to do is concentrate on what you got right in front of you, which is life in youth. And start visualizing and creating and thinking about what you want right here, right now. Forget about the programs. No one needs to answer those. That time is gone. What can you fix now? What can you help to make life better right now? What company can you build right now? What virtual company can you build? What inventions can you build right now that will fit perfectly in the new virtual world that's coming? That's what you need to think about. What is it you need right now? Invent it. Create it. You only have right now. So why are you asking questions about the past and using labels and programs? I see you. Look in the mirror and see yourself. Love is the greatest, and that is the truth. Find someone and love them and see how phenomenal that energy of creativity will come out of you. Do you know the sparks of love, the greater love you have, the greater creator you will be upon the earth? The energy is overwhelming. Mahali was well loved. So was Prince. So was Michael Jackson and others. And they were creators. They were creating with love.
Yes. Red, you said you wanted to get in?
That's what it has to do.
No, I was
I
just
said, what now?
I was gesturing that the time is right now. That's what I was saying. I was doing ad libs.
Yeah. Well, you can ask the question since your mic is open.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned earlier that there's going to be a filmed adaptation to the Matrix 4 script that you wrote. I would like you to build on that. Just give us some further information on that, please.
The book is out, The Matrix 4 Evolution, the fourth installment. And in the book, which was written almost 11 years ago, I am talking about everything that's going on right now. The virtual penal systems, how life is going to be controlled with the drone transportation, you know what I'm saying? But you need to get the book and read the book, because now that people are isolated, they can take time to rest and read. Because before, when the world was so distracted, people were going here, there, everywhere. They didn't have time for the things that they needed to have time for. Now God has given people the leisure time to sit back, relax, and think about what you want to do for the future. And read some books, figure it out, take your time, because the new world is coming, and you want to be prepared for it. Read the book. Get the book and read it. It's been out for almost 11 years. Do you know fans have read it? It came out in 2010. and is read around the whole globe. That's why when the fans saw the garbage the Warner Brothers was trying to put on them, they knew it was a lie because they had read the book. I continued my work. It's greater than 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is nothing but a dream. Neo and Trinity never died. They wake up from a dream they shared together. They're twin souls, and saga continues. But greater than one, with greater technology, greater spirituality and metaphysics. You got to read it in order to see. And guess what? When you read the book, you'll think the book was just written. You will not believe the book was written 11 years ago. That's deep, huh?
Very much so, but you are the oracle. And I want to let the audience know that they can purchase the books from matrixterminator.com. Matrixterminator.com is where she has these amazing prophetic books that, that she has authored. So please support the oracle, matrixterminator.com. Please continue.
Yeah, they need to get the book and read it. People are buying the book because they have this time to read now. They have the time to reflect. Now, I can tell you this. The book is the work is going to continue as a movie. There are many investors talking to me, and I'm just waiting for the right ones that is not going to do something else or go backwards or try to swindle or whatever they do. Just waiting on the right people to get to work and move forward, and that's going to happen. With Keanu Reeves, they tried to put him in some garbage and to demean his role in the Matrix. If you don't believe me, I'll send you over the plot so you can read it with your own eyes. I'll send you over the company that wouldn't give them the money and that they had to refilm because everything they spent millions of dollars, it was garbage, and they needed to refilm it, and the virus came and just shut them down totally. They're not coming back with that garbage. In fact, they're not going to have any money. How about that? I bet you that surprised a lot of you, huh? They're not going to have any money. They can't even get the $27 million for the German studio at all. So the real Matrix, the continuation of the first Matrix, is going to be on the screen. We got a new wonderful world that's coming. I am so serious. Do not be depressed about what's going on now, and do not let it confuse you or take you back or make you, you cannot be here, because you are. You just need to concentrate on what you're going to do for the new world that's coming, that you're going to fit in. That's all you need to be concerned about. You need to start planning and living, planning what you're going to contribute to the new world, that you fit in, that you belong. Concentrate on positive. Don't look at this as a detriment. This is just new beginnings. For everything, there's no end, just begins again and again. But greater each time. Greater technology, greater love, greater new changes, but better and greater than before. The old changes. All that has to go away. It doesn't fit in with the new. Just think about when Rome changed. Just think about when Babylon changed and Egypt changed. All of the civilizations that were here before. They all met changes. But look, everything got better and greater because we're here now.
People are asking, is there any other way to buy the book? I don't know where they're going, because I put it in my search engine and it pops up to truthaboutmatrix.com. So they're saying the website's not working, but it loaded. It took a minute, but it did go to truthaboutmatrix.com. Is that your site as well?
You can buy the books directly from me on the website, matrixterminator.com, or if they're in foreign countries or whatever, they can go to amazon.com and buy the book also. Amazon, if you got an account with Amazon, or Nook Press, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, but it's on demand. But if you want to buy it directly, you get to talk to me. If you buy directly from me, you get to speak with me. But if you buy it directly from some other distributors that are aligned with me, you will not get to speak to me, because that is one thing that I allow my fans. If they want to connect to me, they can buy directly from me, read the books, and talk with me about it, or things that they need help with. A lot of people have asked for the angel prayer around the world. I got that. There's also a water regimen that is so phenomenal for underlying health issues, and I will also give people that. So it's up to you guys. It'll sometimes they've messed with several of my websites. They've hacked my website. They are hacking new websites, but just have faith in God and it'll get through. You'll get through. Give me a call and I will help you. You don't have to worry about that. On my website, there's an email. Yeah. Email me. There's a phone.
Yeah, they can't. I got to the website initially, and then I refreshed the page, and there's an internal service error. So they can't get to the website to even get the email. So let's drop the email here in the chat, because like I said, 1 minute I was able to access it, and the next minute I'm not. So how can they buy directly from you? How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, give them my email address. Everyone, listen, you want to get in contact with me, get my email from Blue Pill and contact me.
Okay.
Directly. My email.
All right.
Not to worry.
Yeah, am I allowed to put this email in the chat, or do you want me to do it on a person-to-person basis?
I'll put it in the chat and post it. It is a well-known email.
All right. Okay.
Post it in the chat and everything. They will use it. I'm just laughing at these people because a lot of the devils are listening to me tonight, because you can tell they're messing my website. They really hate it when they hear the truth.
They do.
Cannot take the truth. They can't. And I love it. I mean, I thank God that I'm going to speak the truth, and I'm never going to stop. And I'm going to help and heal as many people as I can with the angel prayer and the water regimen. I've done a lot of healing, and I've, mentored people. I help people to write books that have never written a book in their entire lives. People who have never written a script in their entire lives. I do foreword and people's books. I help connect people to investors, all kinds of things that they need help with. I'm here to help you, sort out for you, lead you, guide you, whatever you need.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, I mean, you have packed so much beautiful commentary, you know what I'm saying? It's into such a short period of time. This is it's a very digestible pill, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So, Red, if you have any more, I want you to come up with a few more questions, and I don't want to keep the sister for too long.
Well, yeah, I only have 15 more minutes, and I do have to leave. But I do want to say something to you guys about the red and the blue pill. It's very important that you know what the red and blue pills are really about. If you take the red pill, you see how deep the rabbit hole goes. If you take the blue pill, you know what, you bury your head and you go on. But let me tell you how deep the red and blue pill really is. The red is it represents the blood of the living entity. And the blue represents the machine world because the machine world is blue and black ink. So in school, when you got your final grade, it was in red and it could not be changed. So if you got 100, that 100 cannot be changed. If you got an F, it wouldn't be changed. But if anything was graded and, with a blue or black pencil, black ink, blue ink, and you went up to the teacher and you talked to them, they could change that grade. So I want you guys to know what it really means, the blue and the red and the blue pill.
Oh no, we're just getting started. So Mama Sophia, we just getting started. Let's run down the clock and start talking about this red and blue pill. We just getting started. Please enlighten us more.
I just wanted to let you guys know that it's 9:47, and I have to leave at 10 o'clock. And I missed the Prince. It
Indeed.
came on tonight.
Oh, the Prince tribute?
Yeah, I think it came on tonight. Wasn't it tonight?
Not 100% sure about that. I know that we're supposed to play a song called Prince on our show. And I also want to know about the twins. I'm sorry.
What now?
I wanted to know two things. What were your inspiration for the twin characters in the Matrix movie, and the inspiration for the character Cypher, the one who let Agent Smith infiltrate?
Well, Cypher, like the character in the Bible, he betrayed for money. And that's what people do. They know that he wasn't eating any steak. He knew that he was eating mush, and he knew it was a lie, but he loved the lie. And a lot of people are like that right now. A lot of people are like Cypher. They love the lie, and they betray others, and that's why Michael and Prince and a lot of other people are dead because of these people who betray you for money. Because Hollywood creates an illusion, a lie, and they love the lie. As far as those twin characters, that I did not create the devil. The devil is invisible. It's a ghost. It's here. It's just an invisible energy. And anybody portraying themselves as the devil or invisible or a ghost, there's no ghost in the Matrix except the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, but not any ghost. And what was the other one that you asked about? What was the other character? What was the other character?
No, it was Cypher, the twins, and Tank and Dozer.
Oh, Tank and Dozer. Oh, those characters are just black superheroes leadership roles. Those, when you see, I'm going to send you guys over all the pictures of all the black people who was in the Matrix. And 3/4 of the earth is nothing but black people. And there's a lot of them that got white privilege. They're not white, but they have white privilege. And that's all that a white or Jew gives you is some white privilege. But 3/4 of the masses know that they're black. That's never going to change. Black is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with being black. You're children of the sun. You know how phenomenal that is? To be a child of the sun? It's the greatest. So a lot of this stuff is just people not want to come and deal with truth. They feel if they play the game, they're going to get rewarded with the game, or they're going to elevate or get some money, or get this thing they want to do. But you don't got to lie to kick it with anyone. You don't got to lie to create what you're going to do in this world. Person needs to stick with truth because you can do anything, but that's all it is. People getting white privilege. That's all it is when people come across the border. They're coming across the border for white privilege. They all know the truth. All the military people know. When you go to the countries, there's the black people in all of those foreign countries. They only show the white-skinned ones, and that's propaganda. Well, people who are about truth will just tell you the truth. And those who want to play the game and get white privilege, they're going to stick with the lie. And red and blue.
Okay. I don't hear your audio. Can't hear you. Hold on. Let me bring her back in. See if that fixes the stream. Pete, I can't hear your audio. Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah, ugh. Let me troubleshoot this. Figure this one out real quick. Let me figure this out. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me figure this out. Audio. Who might bring her back? Yeah, y'all can hit the like button in the meantime. Peace. All right. I'm gonna wait for her to, to come back through. I did have one last question for her. All right. What she gave us a few more minutes. I got 7 minutes left. So, yep, there we go. As expected, back in the building. Peace, love, and light.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, I hear you now. Excellent.
It just went out. And then I couldn't hear you guys, but I could see you guys. But it went out, and then it just came back on.
Yeah, it's a lot of glitches in the matrix, but we still here. We're gonna persevere. I want to ask you one last question before we get up out of here. Because of our demonstration, in life, we've kind of popularized the term that people say, you know what? I want to take both pills. In your book, what would happen if they take the red and the blue?
Well, there's no such thing as taking the red or blue pill. It's just no such thing as that. There is no answer to that. There's no such thing as taking the red and blue pill at one time.
Okay.
It exists.
But you told me this is a new world and we could write new rules and do anything. So in this new world, in this new book, we taking the red.
You can create. You can't change the universal law. cannot change the universe laws. So taking a red and blue pill is just like you saying that you're going to be good and evil at the same time. No, I'm not saying you're going to experience one or the other at different points in time. You're saying that you're going to be both evil and good at the same time, and that's impossible.
Right.
I'm just telling the truth.
You know,
Impossible.
I received
You can experience the other change from one to the other, but you will never be both at the same time.
indeed.
Never going to happen in life.
We have
Go
a
ahead.
few
Any
minutes.
other questions?
We have a few minutes remaining. I want to let Brother Keys and Brother Red get their last parting words or questions or comments if they have any. So I'm gonna mute my mic, let them do. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The inspiration for Morpheus. Can you?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, you gotta.
I say with Muhammad Ali being the main character inspiration, who is the inspiration for Morpheus then?
Who was the inspiration for Morpheus? At the time when I was creating the characters, and I want you to get the Third Eye Matrix and Terminator book and look at the characters and look at the definition and the description of them. Morpheus is a leader, and all the characters had different degrees and different abilities. And that was so unique and so phenomenal about him. The Oracle was created after myself. And the other characters, they all just had different degrees, different abilities. Now, Morpheus, when you read his character, he was the leader. He was like wisdom. He was the one that was, telling all of them where they should do and where they should go. When you get the book, you're going to see every one of their abilities in the book. It's going to break down their abilities. It's going to break down how they look. But I didn't think of a movie star or anybody when it came to the other characters. I just gave them abilities and characteristics and looks. You see what I'm talking about? It's more metaphysics. It's more spiritual, their characters. But now, Muhammad Ali, the Neo character, because we had a living black superhero that was globally known and loved, he was the whole admiration for the whole work. And the book is dedicated to him, and the newspaper article is in the book. So, talking about him. And I was with him at that time. I was at USC from 1979 to 83. And I lived in Santa Monica for 3 years and 4 years in LA while I was at USC. So I was in California 7 years. Ali taught me a lot. He was this great ancient soul in this body. So when I looked at him, I didn't see his body. I just saw this great spirit that was inside of his body. You see what I'm talking about? This great knowledge, this great wisdom. And look at what it did. It propelled the work to be some of the most greatest metaphysical work in the world. Such power that he eluded. Very inspirational.
It's an amazing story, sis.
It's a true story. You go to the archives in the news. You go to the archives when you get a chance because everything is closed down. But you will pull up all the stuff on he and I in the news. They have archived every interview I've ever done, and they've been hiding all of this stuff from the people of truth, people who wanted the truth. And soon, all of it's going to come out and flood the whole market, the whole media. Things that you guys are going to think happened overnight, happened years ago, but it's going to look like it happened overnight. It's going to be amazing because everything is getting ready to change, and it's time for truth to come out. It's time for changes for the people of truth. And the people who've been doing a lot of evil things, it's time for them to leave. You'll see.
Yeah, right.
You'll see. Good always wins over evil. Every lie has to bow down to the truth. Remember that. Every lie, no matter how many lies they've told, has to bow down to the truth. That's the law, and it's never going to change. You can depend on it. That's a law that's never going to change. Anyway, it's 10:02. Time for me to go. I love you guys, and thank you for having me tonight. This is wonderful. I'll be back. Yes, I came up with that line, I'll be back. I know that surprises you, but it's in the book. You can see it with your own eyes.
Indeed, and indeed, you will be back. You came back for this phenomenal episode here, Know the Ledge. I think the last time we spoke, it was 8 years ago in 2012. So this is the timing is perfect. We do appreciate the fact that you came here and you showered so many people with your wisdom, Sophia. We love you. Thank you, Mother. Continue in victory. All right, and we will speak again. Peace.
Okay, thank you guys. I love you guys, and I enjoyed it very much.
Absolutely.
And I'm getting you guys are getting a lot of feedback in your chat room. So
Oh yeah.
then you had a great show. Yeah, I'm telling you what they're saying. They're talking really a lot of good stuff. They really enjoyed it. So when you put it out, make sure you play it over and over again because I dropped some really phenomenal pearls of wisdom that are going to elevate a lot of consciousness tonight.
That's right.
Thank you.
Right. You absolutely did. All right. Thank you for showering us, Mother. Appreciate you. Peace, love, and light.
You're welcome.
Indeed.
Bye.
Whew. Ugh. That was another one for the record books. Yeah. Y'all got
cloth. I said she gave me some new cloth and a whole new narrative on the Matrix. I can't wait.
I gotta. I have to unpack the Muhammad Ali Neo reference. I gotta go into. I could go into a whole new alternative universe and really unpack what she just put out there.
You know, somebody said earlier, right before we got on here, they said the Matrix is the story is the coming of age of an FOI. And they said it before she said Muhammad Ali. It was somebody that was in the comments. And when I think about it, it makes so much sense. That's why I asked about the reference towards Morpheus, because essentially that older, wiser figure would have to be the messenger.
Oh, pardon me, man. I'm reading comments, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. Yeah, it's profound. You know, when you think about the entire pantheon of superhero entertainment that has captivated generations, our generations in particular, each one of these central figures are men that were influenced by the mind of Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm X inspires Professor X and the X-Men. Now we know that Neo was inspired by Muhammad Ali, not Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, to template a I gotta go and match dates up now and everything. I gotta get totally metaphysical. We're reviewing the timeline of the Matrix and the trajectory of Ali and his ascension, you know what I'm saying, in the 2000s when he was coming out, like you said, this new figure of him. Now imagine if they was juxtaposing his inspired figure next to his new body, which is a frail body, but the dynamic aspect of his older self in this newer depiction of Neo, which is new. Oh, God damn it.
It's heavy because it really shows that that's everyone's journey, right? The Matrix is everyone's journey, um, and everybody's responsibility. You know what I mean? Because regardless of whatever Neo did, none of that was possible unless those other people went on that same journey and was able to fight that war as well. So that tale of that Matrix is everybody's tale in the world. You understand me? That's supposed to come out the program. Because every program is another program and another program until you become completely out of program and you just learn to be. And that's the highest level of ascension.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely that definitely was deep. That was definitely one for the record books. And yeah, there's not too much follow up with that. We just gotta let that simmer. You know what I mean? She dropped some jewels. This culminated a very powerful day. I did a women's marathon, and this was the capstone on the pyramid. So, I wanna thank you, brothers, for joining us in the Nebuchadnezzar. You know what I'm saying? As we took the people down the metaphorical rabbit hole in the Matrix, and go and get that book so you can take back that narrative and that story. You know what I'm saying? Because Hollywood has the tendency to varnish and paint something in a particular way where you can't see yourself in the narrative, and it's imperative that you see yourself in this narrative. It's imperative that you see yourself victorious. She even gave you the keys. Like, you have to flourish and compete in AI in this new world. You dig what I'm saying? We have to be innovators and inventors and look at everything and come up with solutions for it. It's what we already doing. So it's you know what I mean? It's like the mother just gave the blessings to keep keeping on. So with that, I want to
I
say
just want to
deuce
say
like
one last thing.
back to work.
I just wanted to say this. She had a spirit um, that you don't encounter between many people that stream like that. And, her being at a level of observation, of course, similar to our own observations. But yes, and I can contest that everybody that was on this stream experienced that same exact thing. You understand me? And that divine
Yeah,
intelligence,
yeah. Speak up if you can.
I would say that divine intelligence of a woman, that intuitive intelligence of a woman that no machine could ever compete with. That's an impossibility. And that's what we experienced here because if you really want to know what the key is, it's always the woman. You understand me? And so experiencing that the divine intelligence that she has to give birth and that womb mind that she has intuitively to be able to showcase what divine intelligence is You understand me? That's something that has to be interpreted, understood, and studied more than just the manifestations of the Matrix or Terminator, but that knowingness that everybody doesn't tap into and the world would look at. And it may seem odd to some people because they haven't experienced certain levels within themselves. And so I know of a few women throughout time that, like Mother Tanetta, is another woman that I would see similar to her, same spirit. And so that's what you really observing. You understand me? It's not the what she did, it's not the way she looked, it's not even the story. It's the spirit that you observe of that woman that really cleanses everything, that really makes all of us uncompetable. You understand me? As far as when it comes to machines and how we really collaborate, because there is no tale and no story without man and woman finding that greatness together and beating whatever machine. And the machine is only a replication of self. So it's only a program of self that you fighting against in the first place. You understand me? And becoming better than programs that exist within you to conquer that. For every man requires him to match that with the spirit of a woman. You understand me? And every woman has to get to that highest level of spirit to be observed, to where you're streaming so that you can make gods. So that's what goes on.
Indeed. Blue, I want to end it by saying I want to give you an enormous salutations, an enormous salute for what you did today on Women's Day. The fact that you did an all-day stream with some of the most powerful voices of divine feminine energy that I've heard in a very long time. The way that you built up this energy before, I mean, I want you to say all of the names of the mothers, of the sisters, of the daughters, of the goddesses who you brought forward today on your streams and whatnot, and the conversations that were being had. Like, it was mind boggling, it was mind blowing, and it was mind changing, because I got to hear some of the cries and some of the instructions, and tonight was definitely the capstone. Keep in mind, a year ago, all three of us, we were in LA, and we were dealing with the ascension of one of our brothers, a king, a black god, Black God Protocol, Nipsey Hussle around this time. And Mama Angelique, she was the voice of reason around that time. She came forward and she instructed us, and she gave us our wings, and she gave us the charge that brought us to where we're at a year later, where we could all look back and measure our lives, and we could see our growth, and we could see our elevation, and we could see that we fit the fundamentals of everything that Mama Sophia was coming forward, Mama Wisdom was coming forward and talking about, because she spoke from Sophia just now. That was pure wisdom, you know. So she cleared up beyond all speculation. Shout out to Aline, shout out to Panic, shout out to Blue, shout out to KT, shout out to everybody, Keys, RZA, everyone out there putting the information out, working that thing, creating the narrative, steering the Nebuchadnezzar. Shout out to Red, you know, and I think she put the capstone on the pyramid, like Blue said, and really let it be known what this is. Corona rising and 2020, two sides, not just two sides of a coin. Quantum, so it's multiple sides. You know, I look forward to more conversations like this. We have a plethora of lights in our community who it is our time to shine the lights on these lights, because like she said, some will rise so others can some will fall so others can rise. This is the changing of the guards, out with the old media and with the new. So thank you, Blue, for your dedication. Thank you for this marathon. The planet, the earth is pleased. Thank you for that meditation on 444. Thank you for following up today on 444 with the meditation. Thank you, Mama Pill. Today is her Earth Day, And when we were doing a meditation, we were sending out, she had a global meditation sent out for her today at 11:11. So for the family out there, send energy out for Mama Pill, because without Mama Pill, this would not be possible, you know. And we just want to say thank you to all of the mothers, the divine feminine energy, like she said, the womb man, right? The womb man.
So, yes, indeed, I've been on air doing this broadcasting since 11 a.m. We did a breathing meditation first, so we can, lock in the breath, pay homage to the spirit. You know what I'm saying, and really prepare ourselves to receive the information. My first guest was Mama Kimura. This is the sister I do the retreats out in Mount Shasta with. She spoke on earth medicine and meditation. That was a powerful discourse. The second sister was Sister Jatali Kishu Bank, who spoke on financial literacy. She's a legend. She was breaking down many things and giving many people many keys and many pills about how to dig into this new financial, the availability of these financial instruments. You know what I'm saying? How to get your finances together. Then she was followed by Sister Kafunya. All right. Sister Kafunya brought it. You know what I mean? Sister Kafunya earned herself a recording contract. KTL Records will be signing Sister Kafunya for the Singing Bowl Symphony. You know what I'm saying? And she brought a dope segment, Mother Earth Speaks. Then it was followed by the beautiful Sister Tokyo, and her segment dealt with the wellness protocol. She was followed by the beautiful Sister Chanel Angeli, who brought her segment dealing with creating during quarantine. That was dope. That dope segment was followed by Aquarius Maximus, who followed up with All Roads Lead to Crypto. And she got into the many faceted aspects of what this new paradigm presents. And then of course I followed that up with Mama Pill. You know what I'm saying? And Mama Pill blew it down. Like she got the spirit on her. She just was going in. And I didn't get an opportunity to interview Queen Diambi. We will be doing that. A lot of this content, exclusive content, we're probably gonna put on Netflix. I kind of wish I might have even if Netflix was streaming the way that I needed it to, I would have done that over there. So this content could be relegated to, the betters and not the sweaters. You feel me? The people that are actually part of the network. You dig? So yeah, with all of that being said, you can go on my live and catch some of that, but we will be streaming that content over on Netflix as well when it expires over on Instagram. And it's important in this new paradigm that we have these vehicles that we can call our own, and we're not always in somebody's houses throwing stones and hiding our hands, wondering about how the man know everything that we got planned. You know what I'm talking about? So with that being said, man, I want to again thank you brothers for formulating this triangle, so we can put the energy center focus on the Queen Mother and let her do her thing. Yeah, I'm gonna open up your line real quick, bro. Yep.
Two things. One, tomorrow I have for my KTL University students, we have an online university class. For anybody that wants to sign up, go to Eventbrite and put Ascension Protocol 2020. Ascension Protocol 2020. We're going to be talking about what was being talked about tonight. We're going to line up everything that's going on. We're going to do a whole 1 year timeline to the time that my brother Nipsey Hussle or Mayas Ashtagan made transition or ascension, all the way up into today. The Three Kings ritual, the Three Kings falling in LA, Pop Smoke, Kobe, and Nip. You know what I mean? How everything lines up, the planetary alignments. We're going to be doing all of that. That's 4 hours. That's tomorrow night, Thursday. And then look out for another KTL radio 2020 show. Our next show, we're going to have Cheyenne, the Liberator, my good brother Cheyenne, the Liberator from Marrakush. He's going to be talking about from slaves to king and giving a Moorish or an indigenous or an Aboriginal perspective on what's taking place in this new financial system and many, many more things to talk about. So that's that. Shout out to Keys.
Yeah, shout out to
Keys, let them know. Yeah, please let them know when our next broadcast is. We started off doing the Monumental Live, and we have some things on the let them know when the next thing is coming up.
So the live is all of the ship is on one stream. Essentially we are a bunch of neos coming together, man, fighting this matrix. You understand me? Which is going to be on
Closer to the mic.
it's going to be on the 19th. We're going to try to make it. Not going to try to make it. It's going to be every 19th of the month, inshallah, that we come together on one live stream. And you really don't want to miss the last time we didn't get to record everything. But the amount of jewels, keys, and world that opened up that day was amazing. Every 19th of the month is a portal. There's always something to be uncovered and understood. So when we tap in, you really don't want to miss out. My brother, I see you put up gold water and things of that nature. We still are in the middle of a so-called crisis and a pandemic and a changing of new world. So people still have to focus on their health. You still have to focus on your immune system. It has to become a lifestyle. When you're talking about taking that pill, it's taken away from artificial foods. You understand me? Getting away from the governing from an artificial man and his artificial intelligence and his artificial insemination, because he's a false god. So you got to feed that God within if you ever think that you're going to be able to be up to speed, process, and fight the machine. You understand me? You got to continue to feed yourself that light, mineralize yourself in an over-chemicalized world, and tap in so you can tap out.
Yeah. Let me point on that, right? There's nothing that the artificial God can ever manufacture for the body of God. That time is done. We're not going into a new paradigm entertaining that. There's no medicine that this weird science can come up with that will enable my God body to be greater. It can only deteriorate it. So the gods have brought forward a solution. You know what I'm saying? The gods have brought forward, the next level products. You dig what I'm saying? To really allow you to tap into the solar activated corona rising energy that is dawning upon us, right? Get into your proper persona, which is God, and elevate and activate. All right. And with that, I want to say peace, love, and light. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna play Prince. Red, you still want me to play this Prince?
Hey.
Huh?
I mean, we today was yes. Please play the Prince. Play the Prince for the family out there, and rise in power to our brother Prince. Rise in power to MJ. Rise in power to Whitney, James Brown. They're doing all of these rap battles and these DJ battles, and it's beautiful to type the music that's coming out, the nostalgia. Just the fact that it's waking us up to what real music used to sound like. So these icons of ours that so Sister Sophia was pointing out, they had tragic deaths. Many of them were crossed by Brutuses. Many of them were crossed by Judases in their lives. Their doctors sold them out, poisoned them, overdosed them, and whatnot. So, when we play this music and these birthdays come by, we just have to thank them for their contributions and just acknowledge that. Just keep keep these names alive.
All right.
Peace.
With that being said,
he's in control. He's the master of his masters. I can do business with you, right? Masters talking materials. You don't own my materials anymore. But I'm going to take the big chunk over here to the homie. That's why I have no issue with people calling him the master mason. You damn right. He's the master of his catalog. He's the master of his words. He's the master of his archive. You feel me? He's the master of the ceremony. Right? Very few artists have been able to achieve this. But the ones that have, we've seen a demise.
I'm on 100%. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The nether circle the twins. 75 ever since. 70 wives in the winds. Red and blue, purple like Prince. 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 We feeling the urge, killing the purge. Brothers electric, we feeling the surge. Feeling the words, killing the verse with immunity. Pillars of unity. This is the form of the Voltron. This is the age of the Ultron. This is the same stage as the post bomb. This is the sage you can smoke on. Copper pound. Came under scene, I was copper down. All I was missing was copper crown. Summer 16, I turned copper brown. Look for revenge in the copper town. Capping the jersey and copper crown. 21 guns, salute jumper sound. My power pieces, the crystals be talking, the clothing be talking. King County clothing, yeah, king of New York. And I'm Christopher walking, the missiles and walking. Pistols be talking, 21 hammers with country, the grammar, the broken, the English. I'm on 100%. Red and blue, purple like Prince. Red and blue, purple the Benz. Change up the circle of friends. The nether circle the twins. 75 ever since. 70 wives in the winds. Red and blue, purple like Prince. 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 Red and blue, purple like Prince.
Charges are federal, orders incredible, markers indelible, sparkers immeasurable, sparking the medical, parkers on pedestal, sharks for that revenue, hawks for what's settable, heart full of vegetables, art at the festivals, heart no cholesterol, sharp on those episodes. I'm on 100%. I like when summer begins. I need my hundreds and tens. I need 100%. Go independent like Prince. I'm on 100%. I like when summer begins. I need my hundreds and tens. I need 100%. I like when summer begins. Whoa.